Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Norwich Talk for another match preview. First and foremost, I just want to say I didn't get the chance to make a match reaction for the Cardiff game, so we'll give a few thoughts in this video re that game, mainly because it influences a couple of decisions, of course, in this lineup. The plan for this video is to kind of rattle through the lineup quite quickly and speak to some wider points. Obviously, there's quite a bit going on at Norwich at the moment. Season start, new signings, a couple of links this morning as well. So in terms of this preview video, we've got plenty to dig our teeth into. So straight into the lineup, I'm going for Tim Krul in goal on the basis of I think Dean Smith is just going to keep picking Tim Krul at this point until he does something drastically wrong. As I literally say in most videos where I talk about Krul and Angus Gunn, my preference is Gunn for previously stated reasons, so please go and watch a previous video if you want the long form answer. My backline is Max Aarons, Big Andy, Ben Gibson and Janulis. Hanley is obviously suspended because of just two very ridiculous yellow cards. And Gibson has been training all week, so naturally he should slot straight in. My middle two in front of them are Kenny McLean and Gabriel Sarah. I'm throwing Sarah in the deep end. Again, I'm looking at the sort of the press conference notes in front of me, and I think it's Nunez and Sarah are both available for the game. Nunez barring some paperwork, which Dean Smith said shouldn't be a problem. My attacking three, now I see this as a very fluid three in terms of who goes where. The graphic puts someone somewhere. Let's just get into it quickly then. Cantwell, Dow, Rashica. My graphic puts sort of Cantwell out wide. I think naturally he might drift more central and Kieran Dow push himself out to the left using his left foot, or out to the right cutting in on his left foot. It's quite interesting, the idea of having Cantwell and Dow in the same team, especially at home in a game where Norwich are expecting to sort of dominate possession. I want those two playing together because I think they could complement each other quite well. I'll get into why in a minute. In front of those three, Teemu Pukki. So that's my lineup. Sort of my thoughts on that in terms of as a collective. I think that probably has the creative spark that we have been missing. You look at the Cardiff game, Norwich looked a bit lacklustre, didn't they? I did watch the game, and I think for the last 20 minutes of the first half was when Norwich looked okay, and it looked like there was a game plan, which is, and let's use the phrase counter-pressing is exactly what it was. That Cantwell chance came from a counter-pressing move. Cantwell tried to catch the keeper off the line with sort of a shot from 25 yards, and it was all very tidy, and it looked quite sensible. It looked quite good. It was a clear collective effort to just go and win the ball back when they'd lose it, which Dean Smith and Craig Shakespeare have just made it clear that is the game plan. In terms of creating chances, it wasn't great, and to be honest with you, it's difficult to sort of get into the politics of Daniel Farke ball versus Dean Smith's football at Norwich City. Dean Smith has had enough time at Norwich to warrant a little bit of criticism as to how he's improved anyone at this club, etc., etc. I'm still very much of the I personally will give him a lot of time, but I'm not going to criticise anyone for maybe not believing in this new era as much. I think it's pointless to criticise each other for that, to be perfectly honest with you. The thing is, right, with Dean Smith and Daniel Farke, you look at the end of Daniel Farke's tenure, that team, just as a collective, just abysmal. Like, it really was and is, especially at the Premier League level, just abysmal. So that's probably where I sort of reserve a little bit of judgment. These signings, I don't necessarily know if they've been Dean Smith signings. I think Isaac Hayden is, but these two sort of new South American guys, not too sure if they're his signing. So I'm not really sure where this is going in terms of the direction and the football. Hopefully they add some creative spark. I think I said in my Sarah video, usually when South Americans come over, they tend to be associated with flair, especially in sort of the midfield and attacking position. The difference between this team and the Daniel Farke team is Emi Buendia. If Dean Smith had Emi Buendia in this Norwich team, it's a bit of a difficult one because I know he kind of underused him and didn't use him properly for Aston Villa, but I think we get the example of what I'm trying to say is in this 11, if Emi Buendia was in it, all of a sudden you don't really have many sort of creative problems because everything went through him, especially in that second campaign in the Championship. So they're my kind of thoughts. In terms of the game this weekend, I think Norwich will win. I'm not too afraid. I'm not too fussed. No disrespect to Wigan, but I'm looking at it as a fixture that I'm expecting Norwich to win 2 or 3-0. Maybe I'm crazy for saying that. My only doubts in terms of personnel in this team is probably Rashica. Not that anyone was particularly great against Cardiff, but he, for me, was just really poor. But he's in my 11. I'm willing to give him another chance. I hope we all are. But yeah, they're kind of my thoughts. I think it's going to be interesting. I certainly hope they win, but more so I hope I leave the game satisfied, because if we win 2-0 and there are sort of shoots of what Dean Smith's trying to do, or something new, or something where I go, right, there's the plan, I'll feel great. But if it's sort of a 2-0, we ride our luck, etc., etc., then I might be a bit hesitant still, but a positive result is needed, that is for sure. I would love to know your thoughts in the comments down below. Leave a thumbs up as well if you fancy it. Subscribe too if you're feeling generous, and I'll see you again very, very soon.